Let me also thank Steve Ammons. Let me thank Greg Curran, other board members of BBA. Let me express a sincere appreciation for the entire staff and your team, Steve, for the hard work they do as well. And then to all of you, the guests that are present for this luncheon, the business owners, the members of BBA. Literally, you could have chosen anywhere else to have lunch today, but you're here at this luncheon, so I want to thank you for your time and attention to an important matter, and that is the state of our city, particularly as it relates to our economic identity and economic direction. With that said, I can easily tell you with all sincerity that 1 month into 2025, I can earnestly say that my optimism for our city is at an all-time high. I want to share why I believe that and why that is. Our administration for the past 7 years, working in lockstep with our federal, state, as well as other local partners. Our administration has spent the past 7 years in lockstep with our corporate community, businesses, and others, moving the chess pieces on the board, if you would. Moving those chess pieces to set Birmingham on course for that big win. I believe 2025, we can say, we can yell, we can literally say checkmate. Now, many of those wins are due to the relationships forged in this room right here, because this room is full of influencers. This room is full of promoters. This room is full of educators for local businesses in our region. I think this is a good point to say that we at City Hall want to express our appreciation for the partnerships that exist in this room and beyond, for your continued support in this critical work in the upcoming weeks, months, and next year. But before we look at what's to come, I thought it was important at this luncheon to express and share looking at where we are. I think it's important to pause to remember who we are and where we are. Birmingham is proud to be the urban center of the most populated metropolitan region in the state, with the largest economy by far in our state. As you know, we are at the center of a comprehensive interstate hub. We're one of the few U.S. cities to have 6 interstate spokes, and that accessibility to north central Alabama has been very key to our growth. Birmingham market area grew by more than 66,000 consumers between 2019 and 2023 to a population of nearly 1.6 million, which is a 4.3% increase. Now, that growth has manifested in 4 key areas: automotives, medical, sports, and tech. Now, here's a cool stat that most of you in this room should know, and that is in 2023, Alabama became the #1 exporter of motor vehicles in the U.S. and shipped out more than $11 billion in cars in 2023. Birmingham and our region gets to participate in sharing such a stat because we're centrally located among the state's 5 automotive original equipment manufacturers, which is a big deal. Now, I don't have to tell anybody in this room, and there's no secret to anybody in this room, that Birmingham's history, what Birmingham's history is in the medical arena. The University of Alabama at Birmingham employs more than 28,000 people across its university footprint. That includes its hospitals, and more than 23,000 students enrolled in its university. If you are unaware, that has an annual economic impact exceeding $12 billion. But BBA, what I am particularly excited about is the growth in our tech space. The U.S. Department of Commerce recently awarded the city of Birmingham, in partnership with Southern Research, in partnership with UAB, and so many other partners I don't have the time to name, a $44 million grant to support our designation as a tech hub. Now, as you know, our legacy of expansive growth began in the era of iron ore. We transitioned from metal to medicine with great partners like UAB. But now we take the next steps towards another technological evolution. This grant focuses on equitable AI-driven biotechnology. Now that is a mouthful, but I want to explain what this is. What this allows is a huge breakthrough in providing not just job growth and opportunities in our communities, but around this conversation of personalized medicine and genomics, the opportunity to literally save lives. Now, I want to also mention, because I shared earlier those 4 areas, talked about medical, talked about automotive, but you can't forget sports and the success we've had in sports. This year alone, the NCAA's Women's March Madness will be right here in Birmingham. The World Police and Fire Games will be right here in Birmingham, with both promising to bring thousands of sports fans to our city to participate in the spirit of not only competition, but will no doubt boost our local economy. We also have the Division II men's and women's track and field finals in 2027, the first and second rounds of March Madness in 2028, and the National Senior Games in 2029. And yes, coming into this room and walking out of this room, it's important that the folk in this room embrace our local teams, the Barons, Legion FC, Squadron, and the Stallions. But the truth, BBA, we would not be here without the strength of public and private partnerships. That's worth repeating. Our success in the city of Birmingham, our success in this region, the success of BBA and all the other economic development organizations cannot and will not be successful but for genuine public-private partnerships. Because it's that unity that has always been Birmingham's greatest strength. Going back 6 decades ago, when residents defiantly marched the streets to look Jim Crow in his face and say no more. So I want to remind you at this luncheon that we are a city of overcomers. That's why it's important that you also have to acknowledge the challenges that face your city and the challenges that face your community. In 2025, our next biggest fight comes in the form of gun violence. It is no secret that 2024 was a very difficult year for our city. Many of you all know that we made a promise to reduce crime. Well, in 2024, 5 out of 7 major categories went down. But there was one that continued to increase, and that was homicides. Now, I know it's easy to get caught up in the numbers games, but let's be honest. One homicide is too many, because this is bigger than just numbers and stats. That loss of one life means one less person, one less family member at a dinner table. One less person, one less family member at a holiday gathering. It's not about numbers. It's truly about people. And so back in October, I reached out to people in this room. I reached out to our corporate and business community. I reached out to faith leaders and community leaders, dedicated servants who I charged to develop a comprehensive plan to improve public safety and to assist us in eradicating the gun violence epidemic that has plagued our city. That crime commission was made up of 21 members, as stated, representing various walks of life. I want to tell you what they recommended. First thing they shared is that you need to keep your foot on the gas related to hiring more police officers. I'm happy to share with this audience that between November 16, 2024 and January 25th of 2025, 180 people applied to become a Birmingham police officer. Now that number has been culled down drastically because they have to go through several tests. But we're currently vetting 90 of those 180 people to make it to the next round for the next participating Police Academy class that starts next month in March. The second thing they recommended was to secure a state ban on conversion devices, the street name known as Glock switches. I'm glad to say that and support the support that's coming from the state, from the governor's state of the state yesterday, as well as the House of Representatives and the state Senate, where we're encouraged by their words they've shared and the public statements they've shared to support a bill that can get to the governor's desk ASAP to support a statewide ban, making Glock switches illegal statewide. The third recommendation they said was to continue to increase the collaboration with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Mark Petway and other federal law enforcement partners. I'm glad to share with this audience those partnerships continue to strengthen, and we are literally, we as in the Birmingham Police Department, continue to partner with and communicate with the sheriff and other federal partners that include our U.S. Attorney every day. And the other recommendations they made was to invest in our neighborhoods to remove blight and revitalize communities. And the last was to create educational and workforce opportunities for our young black men and teens. I want to pause there to make a key point, as I've shared with any audience who would listen to this. There's an unfortunate formula, equation if you would, that has led to the unfortunate increase in gun violence. And that is concentrated poverty, plus unemployment of our young black men, plus young black boys not attending school, plus the staffing issues police departments nationwide have struggled with, plus a cultural retaliation, has led to the unfortunate increase in gun violence. And so of all those things I've shared, it's extremely important that we support our young black boys and our young black men, especially around being gainfully employed, to tackle this issue. But hear me, BBA, this is where you come in. Because eradicating gun violence and keeping our streets safe goes deeper than adding more police. It goes deeper than a $16 million recruitment and retention plan. The key is to providing more opportunity. The key is to investing in more communities. And so my ask of this audience, my ask of BBA, of our corporate community, is to continue to engage the city of Birmingham in partnership, keeping your eyes toward investing in our communities to provide help and to help those most in need. What does that look like? Well, I think of our minority business community, who, by the way, pump $4.2 billion annually into the metro Birmingham economy. Not only are they our huge economic drivers already, but they are a direct line to many of those underserved neighborhoods that I mentioned. I think of initiatives like the new Coca-Cola United Project, which recently broke ground on the expansion of their current operations with a new headquarters and operations facility. If you're unaware, it's a $335 million investment that will bring additional jobs to our region, especially around the Kingston neighborhood. And we're excited that the work continues in North Birmingham as we prepare to open the Coca-Cola Amphitheater on the BJCC campus, adding a new attraction as an emerging sports and entertainment destination hub. But we can't forget about last fall, the city of Birmingham and Birmingham Region Health Partnership launched the Good Jobs Birmingham Healthcare Recruitment Campaign. Now that's a mouthful, but the idea is literally to employ 1,000 people in critical positions within the healthcare sector. It's the result of a grant awarded as part of the American Rescue Plan's Good Jobs Challenge to build a pipeline of skilled healthcare workers. But I want to tell you a little bit about HOPE. That's H-O-P-E. HOPE. Hope comes in the form of neighborhood revitalization, restoring pride, as well as prosperity into our communities. I'm proud of the fact that the city's Department of Capital Projects is taking great stride to enhance the relationship with architects, engineers, and construction companies around our city to build a better Birmingham and invest Birmingham dollars in Birmingham companies for Birmingham neighborhoods. This year alone, capital projects will lead infrastructure investment totaling upwards of $60 million. I'm happy to say that the PACE Board, that's PACE, has awarded 2 local firms, including a minority-owned firm, a joint venture for construction of a city's $15 million family fun center at the Crossplex campus. We expect shovels in the ground within the next 30 days as we plan a new family-based destination for our residents in the western area of town, but this is open to all residents of town. The city is also leading the way with investments to reconnect neighborhoods, including an overhaul of the 4th Avenue North Business District. Now, this will connect with the Urban Trail, the Civil Rights District, as well as the Smithville Neighborhood Walking Trail. This benefits not only visitors within our city, but those who live, work, and play here every single day. And we can't forget about the beginning of Birmingham's new partnership with HABD through the Choice Neighborhood Grant. This $50 million revitalization program aims to transform the Smithville, Graymont, and College Hills neighborhoods in the coming years. The vision is one of mixed income housing bolstered by on-site services, particularly for seniors and children. Speaking of children, our commitment to education is as strong as day one. That commitment includes $2 million towards the Birmingham Promise, $1 million towards all issues related to engaging and investing, partnering with Birmingham City Schools, and $750,000 for early childhood and literacy for initiatives like Small Magic. Now in 2024 and beyond, Small Magic will be on track to serve 1,200 children in our city. Birmingham Promise has been on track to serve more than 1,600 college graduates in our city, and more than 300 of them have participated, including partnering with BBA, paid internship while in high school. These numbers are worth celebrating because that mirror that our children look into every day, BBA and other partners are investing in their future. Here's what I want to leave you with. There is ample opportunity for more investments in the city of Birmingham. The success of those investments come through, as I've stated, through genuine public-private partnerships. You heard me list off who we were. And then you heard me rattle on about things that are going on, as well as things we've accomplished. But the work is not done. There is ample work and opportunity that we have to continue to push to make Birmingham and our region more prosperous for all. What I believe that looks like is leaning more into our economic vision and the economic direction of this region. That requires us to get uncomfortable. That requires us to break some eggs. That requires us to not walk around timid or our heads down, afraid of friction. But mostly what that requires of us is to get out of our silos. BBA, along with so many other economic development organizations, must move in one direction. Must be anti-solo. Must come together to make this region work for all who live here, work here, and play here. It was stated in the prayer. Jody mentioned it in her introduction. If you were listening to Steve, welcome, he mentioned it as well. Birmingham is a beacon of opportunity. And our region is the best in the state. We are our best when we come together. And so if there's one challenge I leave BBA, you, if I leave this luncheon, and those who are here under the sound of my voice, it is that you embrace being anti-silos. And we work together for the economic direction and the continued investments in the economic vision of this region to become the best version of ourselves. With that stated, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak at your luncheon, and I didn't get a chance to eat. Steve, thanks for the opportunity. Thank you so much, everybody.